Om Shanti. 12th of February 2019, Tuesday. The blessing from Sakar Murli. May you consider yourself to be an instrument and remain free from waste thoughts and a wasteful attitude and become a world benefactor. May you consider yourself to be an instrument and remain free from waste thoughts and a wasteful attitude and become a world benefactor. I am an instrument for the task of world benevolence, Vishwa Kalyan. Maintain the awareness of this responsibility and you will never have any waste thoughts or a wasteful attitude towards yourself or others. Responsible souls cannot have a single thought that is non-benevolent. They cannot have a wasteful attitude for even a second because the atmosphere is created through their attitude, and so they automatically have good wishes and pure feelings for everyone. So Baba is telling us to consider oneself as an instrument for world benefaction, world benevolence. Maintain this awareness of this responsibility, and when you have such an awareness, you will not have waste thought, you will not have wasteful attitude. So Baba is making us accountable souls, and such responsible souls cannot have a single thought which is non-benevolent. They cannot have wasteful attitude even for a second, because their attitude, and so because the atmosphere is created through attitude, and they automatically have good wishes and pure feelings for everyone. So I am an instrument for the task of world benevolence. Baba is telling us and reminding us rather what are our responsibilities. A person who is aware of his responsibility, a person who knows his responsibility, automatically becomes careful. So long as one is not aware of one's responsibility, one remains careless, inadvertent, leading a wasteful life, whiling away all the treasures he has, and it's a sort of a parasitic existence. So that's why Baba tells us to become responsible. Know your responsibilities. And when one is filled with such thoughts that I am an instrument for world benevolence, automatically all the lower thoughts of jealousy, of pride, of dislike, of hatred, you rise above all of these thoughts, even attachments. Every person is born in one family, in one society, in one state, in one country, and throughout life he remains restricted to that one place, one person, one family. To rise above all of these small things, we need very strong, powerful thoughts. And this thought that I am world benefactor, and this thought that I have come for the world, I have not come for one person, I have not come for one family, I have not come for one society, I have not come for one state, I have not come for one country. Rather, my interests are universal. When such thought arises, many of our weaknesses go away, because we are rising above This is the flight which is above, which is taking us to the unlimited. And when we are living in the unlimited, many things of this world we cling to, many things that are the causes of our sorrows and suffering, they go away. So, to have such elevated thoughts is very important. So Baba is talking about becoming responsible, accountable for whatever you do. It depends on the level of our realization. To what extent I have realized my responsibilities. I get up in the morning, the moment I open my eyes, what thoughts I have. Because each and every thought of mine penetrates the universe. Each and every word that comes out from my mouth goes into the atmosphere. Each and every action that I do influences the whole world. There is one term, it's known as Akashic records. This Akash, sky, it keeps the record of what we have spoken, of what we have thought, and they are present in the universe. What Abraham Lincoln had spoken, it's still there in the Akash. What Mahatma Gandhi had said, it's still there. What Hitler had said and done, it's still there in the atmosphere. And that's known as Akashic records. So nothing goes away. And that's where our responsibility increases. The emotions that are arising in my heart, the feelings which are in my heart, whatever I am imagining, whatever are my dreams, whatever are my awareness, my memories, my thoughts, my vibrations, they are going out in the universe. So that makes me all the more responsible. What is my contribution to the universe? Waste or best? Positive or negative? That is a self-checking that is needed. So Baba is saying, you are responsible souls. And what are our responsibilities? What are our responsibilities? Or towards whom we are responsible? This is a better question. So we are responsible towards 7 things. First, ourselves. It is our own responsibility that we should uplift ourselves. There is none who is going to come and give a helping hand and we are waiting for the person and he will pull us out of the ditch. It's our own responsibility. In today's Sakar Murli, Baba said, Baba is not going to sit and give drishti to somebody so that his sins are absolved. It is not Baba's business. This is not Baba's business to sit and give drishti to particular soul so that his sins are absolved. No. Baba said, I don't do all these things. Sitting for one particular person. It is our responsibility to uplift ourselves. It is our own responsibility that we get rid of our own weaknesses, our own past habits and addictions, which are greatest obstacles in our own path. One question you can write down: what is my greatest distraction? What is my greatest distraction? And you can churn and think throughout the day. What is my greatest disturbance? What is my greatest weakness? What is my greatest vulnerable point? Which is that phase, which is that point where I become extremely weak and frail? What makes me emotionally fragile? So the first responsibility is to make yourself perfect. The first responsibility is to rise above all the smaller things. The first responsibility is to make yourself pure. The first responsibility is the responsibility of brahmacharya. The first responsibility is the responsibility of complete purity. The first responsibility is to follow Srimad. To get rid of all the mean, base thoughts and to rise above to the firmament of elevated and pure thoughts. And nobody is going to come and do that for us. We will have to do it ourselves. You can take inspiration from others, but this is the path of self-inspiration, self-motivation. So be self-inspired. That is our responsibility. To allow oneself to go down, it is as if we are not responsible. We are behaving in an irresponsible, rash manner. So whichever place you are, try to uplift yourself from that very place. Whichever time period you are, try to uplift yourself from that very time phase. Whichever circumstances you are beset with, try to uplift yourself from those circumstances. The second responsibility is responsibility towards God. He has come to establish a new world. He has come to establish a new kingdom. What is my responsibility? I must help him. He needs the help of my purity. He needs the help of my elevated thoughts. He needs the help of my service. He needs the help of sending out his message to each and every corner of this world. Not a single corner should be left untouched by his message. And it is my responsibility to fulfill his desire, to give him what he is asking for at this point of time. It is my responsibility to consider oneself as soul. In today's Sakar Murli, Baba said Baba has come as teacher, but there is definitely a difference between the worldly teacher and the spiritual teacher. Here you have to think of yourself as a soul and then remember the Supreme Godfather, this teacher. And automatically you have yoga with teacher in the world. So here also, have yoga with this Supreme Teacher. And when teacher is teaching something, student cannot afford to sleep. Student cannot afford to waste his time. In Mahabharata it is shown when that Dronacharya was explaining Chakravyu to his son Ashwatthama, and other Pandavas are playing out, Arjuna comes and sits there. The Guru asks, why are you sitting here? He says, when teacher is teaching something, it is not the time to play. It is not the time to play. Other Pandavas are playing, but he comes and sits, and that's why he gets to know the secret of that Chakravyu. So when teacher is teaching something, we cannot sleep. We cannot while away our time. When teacher is teaching, students' responsibility is to be attentive, to be all ears, to give up all laziness, and be ready to do everything what the teacher is teaching. So our second responsibility is towards God. What Baba is telling me to do, let me be a responsible child and do it. For example, there was once a king. He had 4 daughters. So he distributed some wheat grains to each one of the daughters. And he called them after 1 year. First daughter, he asked, what did you do with those grains? She said, I just fed those grains to sparrows. The king said, you need not to take any responsibility, you can go. The second daughter was called and she was asked, what did you do with those grains? And she said, I gave it in the Bhandara. So the king said, you look after the Bhandara kitchen. The third daughter was called and she was asked, what did you do? She said, I preserved it in our treasure. So king said, you become the treasurer, take care of the treasure. And the fourth daughter was called and she said, I need 2 bullocks. I need 2 men to harvest the crop. What did you do? And the third daughter said, I sowed them. And now the crop is ready, and now the harvest is ready. And the king said, now you look after the kingdom. You are the most responsible. So, responsibility towards God. That is our second responsibility. The third responsibility is towards Brahmin souls. Brahmin souls. The souls who are here in this family. Even to uplift these souls, even to make them intense effort maker is our responsibility. To set an example before Brahmins to set an exemplary life before Brahmins is our responsibility. Because Brahmins themselves are so unhappy sometimes. They have achieved God, they have understood God, they listen Murli, they do Amrit Vela, and yet somewhere they suffer from some sort of spiritual depression. And yet their efforts are not to the mark. When such a scenario is there, our responsibility is upon us to uplift the Brahmin souls, to give them better understanding of knowledge. And for making them understand, first we have to understand knowledge. For making them better yogis, first we will have to become better yogi. Only a yogi can create yogis. So don't forget that we have many things to give to this Brahmin family. Baba said you don't have to give donation, but definitely you have to support or cooperate, or to maintain a spiritual atmosphere, a harmonious atmosphere in the Brahmin family is our responsibility. We should not be the cause of conflict. We should not be the cause of quarrel in this family. If we only quarrel, if we only fight, what examples we will set in front of the world. So the responsibility towards Brahmin family or Brahmin souls, this is our third responsibility. Our fourth responsibility is responsibility towards this yajna, this sacrificial fire. It is our responsibility not to waste a single resource of this yajna, whether it is electricity, whether it is water, whether it is diesel, petrol, whether it is money, whether it is food, or anything of this yajna. If we are wasting that thing, we are not responsible souls. We have to utilize each and everything in a worthwhile manner. Then only we would be called responsible souls. Nothing should be wasted on me. Whatever I have, let me utilize it in the worthwhile manner. Think of this yajna as your home. Just as you don't waste your water at home, you should not waste water here. Just as you don't waste electricity there, don't waste electricity here. Just as you don't waste diesel and petrol there, you should not waste it here. Just as you don't waste food there, don't waste it here. And it is seen during Baba Milan, people, they take so much on their platter and they eat half and half they live like that. They will take one full glass of tea, half they will drink and keep the rest like that. So much wastage of food. When you don't know what is it, or you have never tested a particular item, don't take it, or take it in a very little amount. But don't waste anything of this yajna. Do not waste, not wasting. So our responsibility towards yajna, and another thing, we have to glorify this yajna. We have to become an ideal example in this yajna. And the feeling that I am the yajna. I myself am yajna. I have put myself into this yajna. I am the yajna. I am this sacrificial fire. So, and in yajna is performed. Yajna is a pure act. It is performed for tapasya. In world, yajnas are what? They are tapasya. A form of tapasya. So our responsibility towards yajna, that is the fourth responsibility. Fifth responsibility is towards worldly souls, towards the world. The souls are suffering. They are ignorant. We have to remove their ignorance. They do not know who their father is, who their mother is, who is the supreme teacher. They have no knowledge about God. They have no knowledge about themselves. They are groping in the dark, leading a life of sorrow, disturbance, suffering, pain, misery, vices, waste, negative, irreligious, totally corrupt, where there is a moral lassitude. So such depravity in the world, we have to help them get rid of it. So our responsibility towards worldly soul, it doesn't mean that only to give 7-day course to souls. It also means to empower them. It also means giving sakash. It also means sending out pure positive vibrations to them and emboldening them, empowering them, filling souls with divine energy so that they can adopt purity. So our responsibility towards worldly souls, that is our fifth responsibility. Our sixth responsibility is Prakriti, 5 elements. What do you have to do with 5 elements? Nikhilesh bhai, what you will do with 5 elements? You have to purify the 5 elements. Rather, a very good thought is, I have to purify each and every particle of this planet Earth. I have to purify each and every particle of this entire cosmos, entire universe. I am at the center of the universe, and it is my responsibility to purify the 5 elements. Now the elements have become tamopradhan. The elements have become weak. Now the elements have lost their initial powers. Now the elements are behaving erratically. Now the elements are not under our control. Any moment rain and any moment any natural calamities. We are the masters of 5 elements. Prakriti Jeet. So our 6th responsibility is to become Prakriti Jeet, conqueror of 5 elements, or serving 5 elements. So for that 24 hours, in 24 hours twice, you should give Sakash to these 5 elements. What is our 7th responsibility? Anybody now? What is remaining? Self, God, Brahmin family, Yajna, worldly souls, and 5 elements. That is all included in the worldly souls. Responsibility towards which souls? Yes, advanced party. That is a special category of souls. We have responsibility towards these souls also. What is our responsibility towards them? Yeah? It's a topic for churning. Responsibility towards the souls who have departed. Those who have gone at another platform. What is our responsibility towards them? We have to help them in establishing the new world. And though it's all the same, but still that is a separate category of souls. And we have responsibility towards them. Because many times in Avyakta Murli, Baba says, advanced party is waiting for you. Advanced party souls are waiting for you. So how are you? So keep oneself ever ready. Keeping oneself ever ready. Helping those advanced party souls. So that is also our responsibility. So we have got these 7 responsibilities, and we should keep on reminding ourselves that I am responsible, I am responsible, I am responsible. I cannot have lackadaisical attitude. I cannot have that inadvertency. I have to be highly alert, mindful, to live in that awareness of responsibility. And that will keep you awake. Otherwise we fall to sleep. Otherwise we tend to become unconscious, semi-conscious, delirious at times. So today's blessing is, I am a world benefactor. I am an instrument for the task of world benevolence. Maintain the awareness of this responsibility, and you will never have any waste thoughts or wasteful attitude towards anyone or yourselves. Responsible souls cannot have a single thought that is non-benevolent. They cannot have a wasteful attitude for even a second, because the atmosphere is created through their attitude, and so they automatically have good wishes and pure feelings for everyone. Om Shanti.